This is the Run and Tell podcast.
Is there a moment that you're like, hey, I'm handling the situation way different than I used to?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
What moment could you think of where you're like, hey, I'm
just
different?
Engaging with my social worker, engaging with just people in general, engaging with my boss, man. Because we used to go heads, like, like not fight or anything, but I wasn't backing down from him. He would give me lip and I'd give lip right back. But it was only because the owners of the company, they actually really thought I was a good worker. But my boss knew what's up because he grew up on the streets as well. He tatted down, and so he could read between the lines. And so whenever I'd come in and he's like, this dude's on something, he'd be the only one, but he wouldn't throw me under the bus. But he's like, whenever they said, they would tell him, hey, give him this day off. He's like, for what? Like, so he can go and sleep it off or what? So anyways, but yeah, those are the moments where I saw myself like, man, I didn't hit him or I didn't cuss at him or something. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even want to. Like, I was just very apologetic. Hey, I'm sorry, man. I started calling him sir. I started calling everybody sir. And I think that was kind of always a part of me as well, as showing that respect. But at the same time, it's like I just started caring more. You know what I mean? I started caring more about people around me. And I was like, honestly, I was like a little kid in a candy store when I started learning about God more and more. I would go to work and start talking about God and telling people, and they're all like, all of a sudden, like, where did you come from, dude? You were just cussing me out the other day, or, you know what I mean? Like, you were this thug that was this hard thug, supposedly. Like, all of a sudden, what is this God thing? Like, what happened to you? And I just told him I just got, I got saved, but I didn't tell him why. Nobody knew that I had till this day, nobody knew that my kids were removed. And when I did say I had to get off time work, when I had to ask for time off work, I would tell him that it's because my probation officer is giving me a hard time. I got a ticket. And my car got taken, and so now he thinks I was messing up, and he caught wind. The cop got a hold of my probation officer, and now my probation officer wants me to do all this stuff all over again. So I just blamed it on that. So every time I had to go to a class or something, my boss was like, "What's really going on, bro? Like, why do you have to have all this time off?" I was like, "Well, my probation officer's giving me a hard time." Like, there's more to it than this, but I just did that. But I think at that point, when I started seeing me thinking differently and thinking towards the future, because back then I didn't even think I'd be able to make it to 18. I didn't think I'd live long enough to 21. And here I am with kids now, and I'm like, dude, this is like for real. Like, I have people under me that need me to really make this change. And how am I going to make this change? And so I just surrounded myself with those believers that I saw. I always tell everybody, like, if you want to be like successful businessmen, man, they surround themselves with successful businessmen, right? They get tips and things like that. And that's kind of the mentality that I wanted to do. And I've always had, growing up in the streets, I wanted to learn how to get rid of stuff, right? How to slang and how to this and that. And I learned from others. So I always had that gift of observing, people say. And so I always observed, and I was like surrounding myself with, when I saw a good dad or a good husband, I'm like, man, I need to hang around with him. Like, I need to learn stuff from him, people from our church. People from even within the profession world, because I started surrounding myself with that as well, because I was hungry to serve others and show other men that there's a way out, that change is possible, that you don't have to go down that same path, you don't have to go down that same road, and that there is a pathway or a pipeline to success, I like to call it, if you play your cards right and you surround yourself with the right people.
This is the Run and... I can't do it.
Yes, you can.